Hello everybody, Calamity here, and today's video is going to go over Klee's Envisaged Echo Guide. This just came out, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Again, if you don't know how to access the Echo challenges, you got to unlock the Imaginarium Theater first, and the menu, or how to get to this menu, will be on a canvas that you access in the corner. Once you do all that and you get some keys, you'll have access to the Envisaged Echo stuff. So we're going to go over to Klee. And before we begin, let's actually go over what you're doing in this challenge, because there's actually kind of a lot of mechanics that you kind of need to understand. So first of all, you're playing Defend the Bounty Castle. It'll be this object that spawns in the middle of the arena. The Bounty Castle has 3 modes: Charge Mode, Defense Mode, and Attack Mode. You want it to be in basically Charge and Attack Mode. You never want it to be in Defense Mode because it will not be charging, and that's not good. We want the Bounty Castle to be charging so that it does its attack and it helps us do damage. That's basically the gist of it. So we want to keep enemies away from the Bounty Castle, as far away from its detection range as we can. And when it is in attack mode, not only is it helping us with its own damage, it's also buffing Klee's own damage so she does even more damage. So this is all good for us. And we just want to make sure we keep Klee alive as well, because the monsters will be hitting very, very hard if we're not careful. So let's begin. Alright, so when you spawn into the challenge, it's going to look like this. This is the Bounty Castle. We need to make sure that enemies do not get close to the Bounty Castle. And knowing where the enemies spawn and how to keep them away is going to be key to completing this challenge. So as soon as we start, run straight forward to these 3 Hydro Slimes. And we can use our charge attack to keep them back. Like so. We knock them off. Next will be 3 Cryo Slimes. Or, sorry, 2 Cryo Slimes. Sorry. There we go. We're gonna have a little bit of help from Bouncy Castle here. All good. Try not to take too much damage. Like a little bit of damage like that's okay, obviously, but can help it. Next is the Ruin Guard. Can't really knock around this enemy, so we're just gonna use our charge attacks. There we go. Now we deal with the mages. Careful with the mages, because yeah, that right there hurts a lot if you're not careful. Just keep your distance, break their shields, dodge their attacks. They will always teleport on you, so don't be afraid to use your burst to iframe through some of their stuff. So break his shield, the big cryo Mitchell guy. Ouch, don't take damage like I did, that was bad. So use our burst here. Luckily, our charge attacks knock this enemy on his butt, so it helps us a lot. Last enemy is this guard. You always want to make sure you're right next to him. He spawns in the exact same spot as the Hydro Slimes, and we don't want him running at Bounty Castle. Gonna pop a burst. You can see we have like 15 seconds left in the challenge. This is good. This is great time, actually. And that's gonna complete the challenge. So I know I was talking and a lot was happening, so if you need to go back and rewatch or slow down the vid, do what you gotta do. But basically, knowing where the enemies spawn so you can do your damage immediately while avoiding damage yourself is the key. I know that sounds basic and like like obviously, but sometimes you just need a reminder. And again, the last enemy with the giant mech, you need to make sure he's not doing the one where he runs with his shoulder like in front of him, because if he does that straight into the Bounty Castle, that is bad. It's gonna prevent the Bounty Castle from helping you with its attacks, and it's going to be constantly in defense mode, and you need to get the mech out of there in order to get it back into attack mode, and getting those buffs back is key to the whole fight as well. So I'm going to show you my Klee's build, or I should rather Edmar's Klee's build, which I had to change a little bit so it was more free to play friendly. But let's go ahead and take a look at the build. So level 90, here's the character stat sheet in case you're curious. So she is using a 4-star weapon, the Widsith, at Refinement 5. Remember that this only... I don't know if someone can correct me on this, but I don't think this will reactivate after the cooldown. Every 30 seconds. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but it's a little RNG here because you either want the increase to attack or the elemental damage increase. The EM doesn't really help. It'll help on some of the slimes, but when you're fighting like the Ruin Guards where you're not doing reactions, elemental mastery is useless. So it's a little RNG, but even so, it's still a good stat set because of the crit damage you're getting from it for free. But if you happen to get the attack buff or the elemental damage buff, then you're going to be in a really good spot, and you're going to do a lot of good damage. In fact, in my earlier runs when I was practicing this, I had a run with Klee where I had over 30 seconds remaining on the clock because I'm pretty sure I got both of these, either the damage, the attack percentage, or the elemental one twice or something like that, and it was really good. But yeah, someone might have to correct me if this procs again without having to switch characters. Like if after the cooldown you get another randomly chosen buff. But I'm pretty sure you do, but not 100%. Anywho, for your artifacts, most of you might be using a this one, the Crimson Witch of Flames. Now, for this challenge specifically, you're going to have to switch your artifact set if you find yourself not doing enough damage because you're not taking advantage of this 4-piece effect because you're not doing Vaporize or Melt consistently. And a lot of your damage is coming from your charge attacks, not from your elemental skill. So if you are using Klee on this, swap it out. In fact, you could just do like what I did right here is just the 2-piece Gladiator's Finale and the 2-piece Pyro damage from Crimson Witch as well. And I mean, that's pretty much all you need. You could also consider the Wanderer's Troop as well. EM is useless, but the 35% increased damage, charge attack damage with your bow or catalyst is going to help out a lot. And as per usual, your substat should always be crit damage, crit rate, attack percentage. A little bit of energy recharge is nice, but keep in mind you're getting fed energy constantly throughout the fight, so that's really helpful there. And then if we look at the actual artifact pieces themselves, if you want to take a look, slow down the vid if you need. Attack percentage on your sands, pyro damage, goblet, crit rate, crit damage, circlet, if needed. And the constellations at C0, but if you have more constellations on your Klee, congratulations. This challenge will be even easier because of the new Hexarai buffs. And then talents, 10, 8, and 8. So this is crowned. Obviously, if you find yourself lacking more damage, then up your talents a bit. Doesn't hurt. I don't know about the burst or the skill, but definitely the normal attack because of the charge attack damage we want increased. And that's pretty much it for the build. If you are looking for alternatives, I did try the Eye of Perception. It just was not good. And obviously, don't try to... what's the word? You know, you don't have to play with a 4-star weapon if you have good 5 stars available. Like Kagura's Verity, this is great. If you have Lost Prayer, the Sacred Winds, this is perfect because you're only playing as Klee and you're never swapping off of her. And the movement speed is great, so you can move from enemy to enemy really fast. And you're getting basically a 32% damage increase to Klee's like entire kit as the battle goes on. And if you have anything else, I mean, it just gets easier and easier and easier as you have more damage on your Klee. Don't forget, you are using the Hexarai version of Klee, so if we take a look at her talents now, this is locked because you need 2 Hexarai characters, right, to use it outside of the challenge. But in the challenge, basically Klee, and all you need to understand is as you're doing normal attacks, elemental skill damage, or elemental burst damage with Klee, you get what's called a boom badge. And as you get more boom badges, you can see at the bottom here, increases your charge attack damage by 115, 130, or 150% of its original damage. So yeah, a lot of your damage is coming from your charge attacks. Make sure you're spamming those as you see fit, but do not make it so that you're in a position where you have no stamina left. Remember, save a little bit for yourself so you can dodge a lot of the enemy's attacks, because a dead Klee means no challenge. So yeah, don't get too greedy with it. Try to play a little bit safe, conservative. Do some normal attacks for breaking shields to let your stamina regen, stuff like that, and then once you can do damage, go for it, especially in tandem with the bouncy castle. So keep that in mind when you're playing with the newly buffed Klee. And again, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope this was helpful for somebody out there. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Don't forget to check out my albedo guide as well if you need help with that one, although that one is way easier than this one in my opinion. And that's going to do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.